Hey guys, Alison here from Ladner Village Arts and Crafts, and before we open up the Crafty Advent Calendar for today, I thought I would share what I made with the strawberries from yesterday, as well as I used the stamp set from the day before and the banner die from the day before that. So it all works together, guys. Shocking, I know, but isn't this just... I'm kind of in love with this. The background paper is from the A5 paper stack from Heart and Home. This is a Cocoa Vanilla Studio paper stack that you have in the store. This is just one of the sheets from it. And then I just used a little like postage stamp nested die that I had and some white enamel dots. And I think it's a really cute little birthday card. Okay, let's get to today's crafty goodness. Zoom out a little bit. All right, we are up to day number 14, which is a little window, which makes me suspect it's another die set. Let's see. Oh, it's an ice cream cone die set. How fun. It's very small. Like smaller than the other die sets. So let's take a look here. That is the cone base, and then the like texture, the ice cream scoop, I guess, the fudge sundae, and oh, the cherry on top. All right, let's get out some. Zoom in on that. Let me get out some cardstock and we can put this together. Here we are from dies to die cuts. So I've cut quite a bit because as I was cutting it, a card idea kind of came to mind because I saw this on my trimmer. This is the leftover piece from the two tags that I made, which I think I need to just even up that one edge. I can do that in a minute. But I thought I could have that down at the bottom with like a row of ice cream cones. So I've cut the cones, or the ice cream, sorry, out of the colors that sort of coordinate with the inks I used. I've got my chocolate sauce. This one, the die moved in my Big Shot, but I'm not worried about that because I can just cover that with a cherry. Anyways, you get the idea. And then I wanted to talk to you guys about these. So I wasn't 100% sure if I should go with a lighter color or a darker color for the sort of waffle bit. So these are, I've cut 3 cones out of a darker, slightly darker craft cardstock than these two. And then I did cut the corresponding hexy shapes from them, and when I was layering them up I decided that the darker is nicer. I cut one out of the same dark brown cardstock that I used for the chocolate sauce, and then these two I cut out of the same light brown that is underneath these cones, and I thought I might see if I could ink them. It gives you options, right? So I've got my ground espresso, which is the darkest brown that I have in my ink stash. And then we're just going to sort of pounce on these. Oh yeah, I like that. And I think what I might do is take the edge of my blending tool and just apply some ink to the edges there. That looks nice, right? Yeah. And then I think we should ink all the edges while we have the ink out and while I'm thinking about it. And then what I might do is slightly ink the edges on these guys as well. Just gives it a bit of depth, you know? So it's not just boring craft cardstock. Okay, let's just wipe off my desk here. I want to add a little bit of interest to the top of my card. I'm going to have this along the bottom, and then some ice cream cones, but this feels very stark and white. So I thought if I could bring in picked raspberry and dried marigold and do some ink blending at the top, that would be nice. So I'm going to start with the dried marigold, and I'm just going to start sort of around the edges. Yeah, I think I got to go all the way around the edges of the card here, even down to the bottom. And I'm going to bring the dried marigold in a bit, and then come in with the picked raspberries just around the edges. I don't want to overwhelm the card with ink blending. Just softly add the picked raspberries to the edges, and then that will be along the bottom, and then I can fill that with ice cream cones. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, time to clean my mat again, and I think we can start assembling. I'm gonna stick this down because I know I want it down on the bottom. These ice cream cones, so I think what we first need to do is glue on our little waffle bits. And once the glue is on, we will get these under some blocks, because that's going to need some pressure to dry. Gotta make sure I'm doing the right color on the right one. I think I already messed up. Yep, I did. Not paying attention. Okay, let's try this again. Because the crafts are so close in color. Okay, so while those guys are drying, let's get our fudge sauce on our ice cream. Now, that's a good question. Is this a right and a wrong way, apparently? And then the little cherries have little details cut into them, and these little guys pop right out. I had the thought of cutting them in white and then putting the white inside the cherry, and I kind of realized that's really like super fiddly, and I'm not really feeling super fiddly, so I am gonna figure out something else. I think what I might do is add some like glossy to them once it's on the card, which might actually be tricky because I was thinking of popping everything up, so that might not work. But then again, the white wouldn't have worked either, so I think we we might just have to live with them being kind of open like that. Unless I put some little circles of white cardstock behind them. And I just realized I think I have lost one of my cherries somewhere. Oh, found it. Must have been stuck to me. And the little cherry stems. Spellbinders sure does love their little fiddly bits. Okay, so let's do this upside down. And we'll just give it a second. I think before I get these cones in place, I am going to stamp my sentiment, and I'm actually going to use a brown, mostly because I've got those brown cones. It just feels like the black would be too harsh. Now I have pulled out the sentiment that says "Have an amazing day." I want to see where my cones are going to go before I get that in there, if I'm going to put that in there. Now my waffly bits are just hanging over the edge a tiny, tiny bit, so I'm going to trim them. And that was probably just user error on my part, and I didn't line them up correctly. Okay, so we've got dark, light, dark, light, dark. Oops, and a few random bits and pieces. So let's just see how far down I want these guys to be. We can come up a fair bit, actually. So now the question is, do I pop the ice creams up? I think the answer to that is yes. Yes, let's pop everything up. All the pop dots. And I think I'm ready to start sticking. So let's start with the middle one, let's find the middle one. That one, which has the dark brown waffles. I'm putting that one in the middle. I like a little bit of symmetry. And you know me, I'm an eyeballer, so. And then we'll just sort of roughly place these guys on either side like that. And then we can put the pink ice creams in between. Cherry stems, I think, are going to be problematic. Especially sliding in and out of an envelope. But they are cute. And clearly there's no space for my extra stamp. Now that I've got all these ice creams on. I mean, I could put it down there, but I think it would get lost in all that stencil work, so it will just have to go on the inside of the card. There we go. Let's put this on my card base. And I think for a finishing touch, we should bring back these sequins, yeah? Oh, I reached for my tweezers there, but you know me, tweezer challenge. So let's just use the old fingers here. And before the month is out, because I know there's more sequins coming at some point, I think we're gonna have to make a shaker card. Okay guys, that is it. So that was using a whole lot of different crafty supplies that were in the calendar. The ice cream cone die from today. We even got a little bit of that stenciled from, I can't even remember what day the stencil came in. And then our stamp set. So thank you for joining me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'd love your comments on it as well. Share how you are using this ice cream die on your projects. I'd love to see them. And don't forget to subscribe and get notifications. All right, we will see you tomorrow. Bye.